So there are a few things about this car that I don't like, but I knew about it before I bought the vehicles, before I bought it. Because I did like 20 or 23 years of research before I even bought this car. So I got the opportunity to buy one at the price I wanted to pay for it. And obviously the main one is the being able to open the hood from the outside with no real security there. But people appreciate the car, and respect it, so they tend not to interfere with it. So that's a good thing. So I don't really worry about it too much. And I knew about it before I even bought the car, so it is what that is. The other thing that that kind of, I don't really like about it, but I couldn't really understand until I actually owned the car and drove it, and that's the twitchiness it has on roads, on less than perfect roads. This is a race car, or a sports car, or muscle car, whatever you want to call it. It's a high performance vehicle, and there's lots of talk about it twitchy on the road and stuff, and that has a lot to do with the fat tires. But I fell in love with this vehicle because of the extra wide tires that it has. So I just don't give a damn about it. I just have to be careful when I drive, especially on corners. If you hit like a imperfect road, or you hit a little bump in the road, it tends to to bounce around. So that's something that I have to be aware of. But it's by no means unsafe to drive. I just have to be aware of it when I do those things. And there are really only a few roads that I take. So I'm familiar with the roads and where some of those things occur with the car. The other thing, of course, is the side panel where we supposedly get hot. This has a high flow cat exhaust, aftermarket one. So I've rested my foot and my legs and everything on it, and it doesn't burn. It's warmer than normal, but it's not scorching. So you might want to put in an aftermarket part in your vehicle to take care of that situation with the burning side pipes. Doesn't bother me at all. The other thing is inside here. This is something I did not know about, but it's something I'm familiar with in other vehicles. It's the fuel gauge is not always accurate. It'll bounce around. Sometimes it'll be at a quarter tank, and then when I'm driving, all of a sudden it goes back to half a tank. And it's probably because it doesn't have some of the extra features, say some of the other, like the Mercedes or the BMW have, where it gives more accurate readings. Because the Ford, the Toyota, the Chevys, at least in the trucks, tend to have an inaccurate fuel gauge. But it doesn't really bother me so much, because I've had experience with vehicles like that. So other than that, it doesn't really bother me too much. But there's really nothing I hate about this car, and everything that annoys me is due to I knew about them from my 20 some years of research before I had the opportunity to buy a vehicle like this. So I accepted it, and the experience that I got confirmed some of those things and debunked a lot of those things, and some that just surprised me, like the twitchiness, for example. The spoiler on this car, it's not my favorite style. At one time I liked this one, but my favorite is like the ACR type style wings. This has a more aggressive look to it, but this one fits this car fairly well, and it's stock, so it is what it is. I've heard stories that the wing itself is not functional, it's just there for style. It does have a rake to it, so I don't know, maybe it is just for style. I'll see eventually. I don't drive it fast enough to put any downforce on it like that. The most I ever go on this is like 80 miles an hour. I think that's it. You know, those are the only things about this car that you know, I knew about and didn't know about, but from the experience I've had with it, it came up. The shift from first to second gear, if I shift too soon, it pushes me into fourth gear. That annoys the hell out of me. I have adjusted where I drive, you know, stay in first gear for much longer until the arrow goes away, or till I go up in the RPM range before shifting, and it's not an issue. But I did order the little aftermarket plug-in fix that they have for it. That I'm still waiting for that to come in the mail, and I'll plug that in. Fortunately, it's a plug-and-play piece of equipment, so if a person buys this vehicle and they don't like that, they could remove it without much issue at all. It's actually easy to get to. If you have any questions, ask it in the comments, like and subscribe. The car has been fantastic to drive. It has surprised me in many ways, in a good ways, obviously, and not really in a bad way, except for the twitchiness on certain corners, and certain on roads that's not really properly finished, you know, potholes and things like that. But you know, overall, it's a car. It drives like a car. You treat it like a car. You respect it, the power that it has, and you know, it's not a big deal. If this is your dream car, or you have a dream car, get it. You won't really regret it, and you can always sell it later. There's a large market for people looking to buy these type of cars. You may want to do a whole lot of alterations to your car right off the bat. Don't. Just wait around, drive it around, get comfortable with it before doing any crazy upgrades, because you may find that you don't need it to really enjoy this car. At least for me, I found a lot of things that I don't really need to do, because the car is fantastic just the way it is. Anyhow, if y'all have any questions, ask it in the comments. Y'all have a good day.